Okay, well, here I am. We've had some rain, not a hell of a lot, just enough to kind of make things grow like hell, which is nice. Things are doing pretty good. Oh, I got a bale of crap there that I can't seem to convince anybody is any good, so. But anyways, I'm standing here at my action rake. See this thing? I have two of these now. These things are really pretty damn awesome, if you ask me. I know when I first saw them, I thought, wow, that's pretty slick rake. You know, I really kind of like that rake. It's just perfect for what I am doing. Well, last summer I used the piss out of one of these rakes. The other one. This is the new one, the one that I got late in the season, which I'm quite glad that I did. And what I want to do is actually show you what I'm going to do to this rake to make it more, well, I'll show you the problems with it, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do to it to make it actually function the way I think it should function. You know, there's always room for improvement in every single thing that you do in this world. And this right here is one of them. This rake has a really cool feature. When you pick it up, it jumps out of the ground. And in order to make these things jump out of the ground, what they've done is they've put a hydraulic cylinder here in the center. And it's like a 5 or 6 inch hydraulic cylinder there, but it's a short stroke. And what happens is when you hit the hydraulics, it jerks this thing forward, which raises the two arms that have the wheels on them up out of off the ground. Well, what happens then, it's pretty simple. It actually bends the center part of this thing, which this one here I believe is actually starting to bend a little bit. Yes, it is, which is fine by me. It doesn't really matter, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to bridge this. I've been thinking about how I can do this without causing major issues. Okay, so what I have to do is, because it's pulling so hard here, I need to bridge it to these outer pieces here, these pieces. So how do you do that without causing, you know, major construction of a major construction? Well, honestly, there's not really anything I can do to avert or avoid a major undertaking here. This piece here is for the kicker wheel, which I'm not going to use ever. I don't know if I'm going to have to remove this or not, but I'm going to definitely take and weld some steel here, and here, and here. And that will definitely transfer the twist and the pull from this point to these outer parts here. So that is the plan. I'm going to start manufacturing two pieces there. The other machine, or the other rake, the original one, this is the second one, it has a new beam in there. They came out and replaced that. This one here is actually still under warranty, and I'm not even going to worry about it. But what happens is when that thing bends, it tows out the wheels, destroying the tires. They just peel right off. There's nothing left of the tires in a matter of a month of running in the field and on the roads. So I'm going to avoid all that crap right now by changing the system that it has, by basically doubling up this beam. So anyways, enough of me bitching and complaining about it and telling you how I'm going to do it. Why don't I just show you how I'm going to do it? And this is kind of one of these as you go kind of moments. I'm not 100% sure myself, but you'll see it when I'm done. It's the next day from this hay rake here. I've got it backed up in the building, and I kind of build these things as I go. I know what I want to do in my head, and I don't generally draw things out on paper before I do them, but I know what I need to do to make this thing great again. Let's put it that way. These are great hay rakes. This is AR12 Action Rake by H&S. I believe I said that earlier in the video. But it has some problems, simple problems. These are really a light-duty rake, and I'm using them for a heavy-duty application. The heavy-duty application is that I do over 3,000 acres of hay. The light duty aspect of it is what I like. I like the fact that it's light. I like the fact that it goes down the road straight. I like the fact that it's quick on corners. It's easy to go into the field. You just unfold it, and boom, you're gone. You're going. So what I don't like about it is that it is built very light in this area right here. And I think I showed you this yesterday, but I can't remember. So anyways, there's a big fat 6-inch cylinder there that is pulling on this center, the very center of this tubing, with absolutely no added support to it. I thought about just getting a piece of flat iron, notching it out, sliding it down in here, and alleviating some of the twist and the pull from that. But then I thought about it. I thought, you know, then I'm only adding 1/4 inch of strength to the backside of this piece of metal, which it's going to bend anyway. It may take it a little bit longer to do that, but it's going to do it anyway. So I've made up my mind that I'm going to truss it, or bridge it. I say bridge it, but it's really a truss. And I want to do it in a manner that is going to have some flexibility and also rigidity. So I decided to go with the same exact size tubing that is on there to begin with. And what I'm going to do is, I've already cut it. It's 48 inches long, and I've already marked it so that I can just take the torch and torch out my angles. And I'm going to make them really nice. I have some 4-inch flat iron here that I'm going to cap that with, and then I'll drill a hole in the bottom of it so it lets any water that's accumulated in there out. So, and it will go from here, this point here, to this point here, to actually strengthen this point, these hinges here. Okay. If I go beyond that, it's not going to do anything. It will have flex here from here. I could just continue to add pieces here to that truss, but I don't think it's going to be necessary. I'm going to use that channel iron here and here, and that should take everything away from this cantilever that they've got here. Because you see the leverage of it? It's just levered about 3 inches below the tubing. So when this thing actually engages, and it engages quickly, it pulls hard forward, pulling down and forward on that from this point here, and it's creating stresses here on these welds here and here on both sides. So I figure if I block it here, that it will actually be pulling, it will transfer those stresses from here. It'll actually pull them back out here and double the rigidity of that point when I weld the truss that I'm in the process of building onto that. So everything will be in conjunction and transferred to the new piece that I'm going to put on. So I'm going to go ahead and get my ass building on this thing. I'm just going to torch it off and run the grinder over top of it and make it look nice, and then I'll add those caps, and it should be good, I think. I mean, if it's not, well, then I guess I screwed up. I mean, I could do this a couple of different ways. I could just use I probably should use the cutoff saw, then it'd save a lot of grinding. And I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'll change my blade to the right length. It is getting worn. I'll get the right size one in there, and I should be able to cut those pretty easily.